What do you
I
see
think
the
it's
rematch?
dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least like 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too.
Yeah.
It was good. You're not in bad shape.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach are officially set to run it back on August 18th, with both fighters facing each other once again, but this time Tank has made it clear he is coming for nothing less than a victory. The stakes for this rematch could not be higher, and this is not just about pride or championship belts. What has really set the boxing world on fire is the way Davis has been carrying himself ever since their first clash on March. First, that fight ended in a majority draw result that stunned fans and cracked the image of Tank's invincibility, sending shockwaves through the sport.
Bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say.
What was meant to be another routine demolition, another easy name added to his list, did not go as planned. Because Roach refused to play his part, he stood his ground, matched Tank's intensity, took the power shots, and exposed cracks in a game that had been protected by years of one-sided knockouts. This is not just talk either. Richardson Hitchens, a close friend and training partner of Davis, recently gave an honest breakdown of Tank's mindset. Going into the rematch, Hitchens said that behind closed doors, he tells Tank that if he does not fully lock in, things can turn bad for him at any moment. He also made it clear that Tank is a real competitor, someone who is afraid to lose and believes that night was a wake-up call for him, a moment where Tank realized everything can flip in an instant if focus slips even slightly.
A game, it could go left for him.
I mean, yeah, I'll tell Tank that, you know, behind closed doors, if he don't focus up, it can go left for him. But Tank is a true competitor. Tank is a guy that he's scared to lose. So I think that
is a rare admission from someone inside the Davis camp. And it sends a clear signal that the confidence Tank shows to the public may not reflect what is really happening behind closed doors. Hitchens also revealed that Davis has started cutting out distractions, staying off the internet, and fully committing to the grind in the gym. And that kind of behavior only comes from a fighter who knows he was dangerously close to a major setback and understands that there is no room for mistakes this time around.
Now, he's trying to please the fans possibly and take this fight versus Lamont Roach in a rematch. You know, is it even worth it to please the fans who are going to love you 1 minute, hate you the next? They're going to love him this minute, they're going to hate him the next minute. Oh, I don't like it. He can fight Lamont Roach, and they're going to say, well, he's supposed to knock Lamont out if he does win. You know, or if he loses to Lamont, they're going to say, oh, we knew Lamont was better. It's just always is a never-ending story in regards to boxing. You can't just please the people.
But is that really enough? Even Hitchens sounds unsure about it. He admitted that both fighters are evenly matched with real history between them and a deep understanding of each other. He made it clear that he does not expect a huge difference in the rematch, even though Tank always carries fight-changing power. That is not exactly a confident endorsement. And it opens up a serious question. Has Tank reached a stage in his career where raw power alone can no longer hide the weaknesses in his overall?
We're saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight. It's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like, even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
If that was not enough to shake Davis, then Eddie Hearn's latest comments might do what the Matchroom boss stirred the pot by suggesting that Tank could already be searching for a way out of the Roach rematch. In a recent interview, Hearn dropped a shocking claim saying Davis might be lining up a fight with social media star Jake Paul in November, instead of staying locked in on settling unfinished business with Roach. Hearn even said outright that Tank is fighting Jake Paul, raising serious questions about where Davis's focus really is right now.
Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
How real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
I am not even sure he will still go through with the Lamont Roach rematch. I know he is set to fight Jake Paul in November, and then possibly Shakur Stevenson. After that, for a fighter like Davis, this kind of conversation is risky. Chasing a massive payday is one thing, but entertaining a spectacle like a Jake Paul fight sends the wrong message. It hints at a loss of focus and a shift away from the serious competition that has defined Tank's career so far, and that alone gives Roach all the confidence in the world to believe his chances in the rematch are better than ever.
The hardest punch I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Okendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He hard.
Roach, for his part, has stayed mostly quiet, allowing all the noise to surround his opponent. And that is a smart, calculated move that shows he understands the mental side of boxing just as much as the physical side. He has already proven he can stand in front of Tank, take his best shots, and keep moving forward. That level of toughness can wear on a fighter mentally. And if Davis is already starting to doubt himself, Roach is in the perfect position to take advantage and turn that doubt into a serious
that fight. A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you think?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's going to be the same fighter throughout his career. So
even Ryan Garcia, a former Tank victim, has stepped in with his take, cautiously backing Davis to get the job done in the rematch. I got Tank Garcia said, explaining that Tank will switch into a different gear this time. He admitted that Tank likely expected an easier night and thought Roach would fold, but that never happened. Now, according to Garcia, the rematch will be much tougher, yet he still believes Tank finds a way to win. While it sounds like support, it also carries a subtle warning because it admits that Roach exposed something real and forced Tank into a fight he was not fully prepared for the first time around.
You're 1 foot out. You're going to get in the ring and you're going to have that moment where you know you got to step it up and it just won't come. I think that's
Garcia basically admitted that Tank underestimated Roach the first time around, a miscalculation that almost cost him his flawless record. And keep in mind, Garcia himself is coming off a setback, a knockout defeat to Rolly Romero, another Davis victim. So while he's backing Tank, it's not exactly a glowing endorsement when your supporter is still recovering from his own tough loss. Then there's Rolly Romero, the man who fell to Davis in the 6th round of their fight, yet he still picks Tank to win the rematch. I take Tank, Romero said, explaining that he believes Tank will make the necessary adjustments this time around.
Something funny, when we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing works.
That's a familiar sentiment among Tank's supporters, the belief that he can make the necessary adjustments to avoid another close call. But that assumes his problems are purely tactical, that a few changes in camp can fix everything. It overlooks the mental side, the creeping doubt that sneaks in when a fighter realizes he's not as untouchable as he once believed. For Davis, this rematch is about more than revenge. It's about proving he's still the most dangerous man in the lightweight division, that his power and aggression are enough to overcome even the toughest opponents. But if his own corner is already hinting that he fears losing, and if his promoter is openly talking about easier fights, then maybe, just maybe, the myth of Gervonta Davis is beginning to crack.
Something funny, when we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I was like, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing works. It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing works. I'm not like totally upset. I figured.
Truth is Lamont Roach has a genuine chance to shock the world again in this rematch, and some of boxing's biggest names are already placing their bets. The reigning WBC World Lightweight Champion didn't hesitate when asked who he's backing for this second showdown. I like Lamont in the rematch, he told KO Artist Sports. That's not just a casual comment. Sparring is where fighters reveal their true selves, and those sessions often expose weaknesses that never appear under the bright lights. If this champion sees something in Roach that alone should make Davis nervous.
I had something on the table. So people who think I'm taking this fight for money, that wasn't the thing. Because I actually had an offer that was higher than the Tank fight.
Oh, for real?
Yes. To defend my belt. So, for all the people who think I was, oh, he doing it for a check. That's what I'm saying. I just even wanted to shut people up.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
we're doing it for a check. We ain't doing it just for the check.
We ain't doing it just for the check. But trust me, because don't forget, this is business.
It's prize fighting. Yeah.
It's prize fighting for a reason.
But it's not just current champions backing Roach. Roy Jones Jr., one of the smartest fighters to ever lace up gloves, also sees a real chance for an upset. I think he shocks the world again. Jones told pro boxing fans Jones is a man who understands adjustments better than almost anyone in the sport, a former champion in 4 weight classes who reinvented his style multiple times over his career. When he says Roach has a chance, it's worth paying attention still. Even Jones hedged his bets, adding, but the only thing different this time is Tank will come with a different attitude, a different personality, different motivation. That's a loaded statement hinting that Davis's biggest enemy might be his own mindset, a fighter needing a motivational overhaul. Going into a rematch is already halfway to a loss.
He's not there to play around. He's trying to smoke you. That's what life's supposed to be about. Roach is not just your average everyday opponent. Roach is a person who knows Tank, who's been around Tank his whole life. This is a different fight. You can't put Roach to the side like that. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to win the fight. I don't know that, but Roach cannot be this underrated like that. You understand? You got to understand that Roach came from basically the same ecosystem as Tank came from. Roach is a very formidable opponent. So I'm not going to talk about none of that when we get by Roach, because what I'm telling you about the other...
Jones isn't the only legend raising concerns about Davis's mental game. 5-weight world champion Claressa Shields, known for her blunt honesty, told Fight Hub TV she sees Tank's emotions as a potential vulnerability. I think Lamont will be even better in the rematch, she said. Right now, I think Roach wins the rematch only because I think Tank needs to get his fear out the way. Shields doubled down, pointing to Davis's recent distractions outside the ring. Sometimes anger helps you in a fight. You don't want to completely lose it. You have to know how to use it. He's so frustrated with other parts of his life that it's hard for him to use all of it inside the ring. So I think therapy would help. That's a bold statement implying that Davis's issues go beyond the technical aspects of boxing.
What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, you know, from a guy that get knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds.
Even Keshin Davis, one of the sport's rising stars, is already watching the outcome closely. If he beats Tank, I would love to fight Lamont Roach next, Keshin told Fight Hype. If he beats Tank, there's only one fight to make in the lightweight division, me versus Lamont. That's a direct call out, the kind that can spark real tension in a division already loaded with talent. But here's the key: Keshin is speaking as if a Roach victory is a real possibility, not just a long shot that's a subtle yet significant shift in perception. Not long ago, the thought of Davis losing to Roach would have been laughed off. Now it's a serious conversation, and that alone is a win for Roach's camp.
If you go my honest opinion, I feel like me and Lamont Roach stylistically is the hottest fight in the weight division. Yeah, Lamont Roach stood right there with Gervonta, the hardest puncher in the division, right? Ooh. So put him up against me, I'm not going nowhere.
Y'all really gonna box, man.
We're gonna fight. I feel like stylistically, that's one of the best matchups in the division for sure.
It's gonna be a lot of rolling in that fight.
You know, However, Keshin's challenge comes with its own set of complications. He's a big lightweight, the kind of fighter who rehydrates into a much heavier man overnight. That size advantage would make any potential fight with Roach a risky move. For the smaller, more compact WBA champion, Keshin even hinted at this, saying, "For real, if you beat Tank, let's fight Tank. If you win, let's fight. I don't care." But here's the unspoken reality: Roach would have to step into the ring against a guy who might balloon up to A junior middleweight overnight, turning what should be a skill contest into a physical mismatch. That's a risk that could derail Roach's momentum just as he's breaking into the mainstream.
Like, I just think Lamont was just better than what everybody was expecting him to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lamont can really fight. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying that, but I also been saying that I thought Tank was gonna knock him out. You know what I'm saying? So he proved me wrong that, like I said, he better than what we made him out to be. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think like Tank got exposed.
Lamont Roach has recently taken a commendable step partnering with What's Up with Hate for a social media campaign promoting respect in the sport. In the campaign video, he stated, "Everyone knows that boxing is a brutal sport where competitiveness is key. But that doesn't mean we have to be enemies outside of the ring." It's a noble take, but let's be real, this is boxing, not a charity gala. Fans don't just tune in for technical skill or sportsmanship. They crave the bad blood, the animosity, the raw, unfiltered tension that makes every punch feel personal.
I just so happen to be a boxing fan that the fact that I do watch him fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
Just in case he lost or just in case it was a draw.
So when you got a rematch clause, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's going to be soon. I'm hoping it's going to be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
I'm thinking July for sure.
Roach's approach, while admirable, risks watering down the very thing that keeps the sport alive. Genuine rivalries. Sure, mutual respect sounds nice in theory, but it's not the fuel that sells tickets or drives pay-per-view buys. It's the grudges, the harsh words, and the personal stakes that elevate a bout from just another fight to an all-out war. Take the classic rivalries, Ali versus Frazier Tyson versus Holyfield. Those weren't just battles of skill, they were wars of will, with each fighter genuinely believing the other stood in the way of their legacy. Meanwhile, the Haney camp seems to understand this dynamic all too well.
Like the betting me that he gonna knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him.
Did y'all bet?
Oh, we bet and we shook on it.
He paid up?
He changed his number. Again, there's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we bumped into each other plenty of times. More than an average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. So it's cool. Like, he cool with me and I'm cool with him. If we were to see each other.
During an interview on the Cigar Talk podcast, Bill Haney, the father and head trainer of undisputed lightweight champion Devin Haney, sent a direct message to Roach Lamont, "Get to work. Now don't do too much talking. Listen, if Pops, come sit down and talk, because that's what we do. Devin going to work. And I'm going to talk." It's a sharp, deliberate dig, a public challenge to Roach's mindset and work ethic, essentially questioning whether Roach has the same grind and hunger as the younger Haney. It's a clear attempt to get under Roach's skin to remind him that in the Haney camp, talk isn't just a sideshow, it's a weapon, and they wield it with precision. The truth is, if Roach wants to win the psychological battle, he might have to abandon the high road and meet the Haneys in the trenches, because while respect is admirable, it's not what puts fear in an opponent's eyes when the bell rings.
You don't have enough experience. You really should have waited and took your time before you came to me, and that's what Gervonta Davis told him. And he was right. He was absolutely positively right. And so now here we are, him fighting this cat Roach, and I'm like, isn't this dude like junior lightweight?
Super featherweight, moving up to lightweight. Yeah.
No,
There's also the matter of Roach's own mindset. By aligning himself with a campaign to stop hate, he's essentially admitting that he's more concerned with his public image than stoking the kind of personal animosity that drives blockbuster rematches. That's a risky move in boxing. Respect only goes so far. At a certain point, the fans want to see some bad blood. They want to believe that these two fighters genuinely can't stand each other. If Roach keeps this all-love approach, he risks coming off as the passive, less hungry fighter, a dangerous perception to carry into a ring with someone as explosive as Davis. Meanwhile, Davis's camp is doing its best to project confidence, but even it can't fully hide the cracks in the facade. The whispers about Davis's focus, his distractions outside the ring, and his psychological readiness for this rematch are growing louder. Shield's suggestion that Tank might need therapy is a direct hit To his pride, the kind of comment that can either light a fire under a fighter or completely destabilize them, and with figures like Roy Jones Jr. openly acknowledging that Roach has the potential to shock the world again, the pressure is squarely on Davis to prove that he's still the same feared puncher who ran through the division just a few short years ago.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
As the date approaches, this rematch is shaping up to be more than just a fight for a title. It's a test of character, a battle for respect, and a chance for one man to redefine his career, while the other fights to keep his throne. The stakes are high and the lines are clearly drawn for Davis. This is about reasserting his dominance and silencing the doubters. For Roach, it's a shot at redemption.